All right, back in the shop. Fall. Make some pumpkins, gourds, whatever you want to call them. This set's actually made out of fence picket. You can use pallet wood, scrap wood, 2x material. Technique will work for any of them. So this set's actually, I made a candle. Allows the light to shine through. So there's a lot of variations you can do depending on your angle you use, your shapes, your sizes, your heights. I got a few examples at the end, give you some more ideas. So for now, let me show you how I built these. Okay, before I get started, these are the angles you can get and how many pieces. So if you want to take a screenshot of that. Okay, now we're going to take a picket. We're going to cut 52 inches. We'll save the other piece. Okay, we've got our pieces. Set that aside for a second. Now we'll go over to the table saw, set our bevel up to 18 degrees. So what we're going to do is we don't want to go right to the center. We'll just come off center a little bit. We'll go 18 degrees. Okay, we'll set our tilt to 18. We'll just kind of line this up. You just don't want to go right in the center. Okay, what we'll do is run it through. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll flip this around. Now we'll do the same on the other side. Now what we're going to do is find the center, rip the center. So this one's 5 3/8. So this one's going to be about 2 11/16. So we'll just go right in the center. The one thing I'd recommend is making a zero clearance insert, especially if you're using any like 1x4, like this is a piece of pallet wood. On that final pass, you'll have a tendency to want to push it down. But the longer boards and wider boards are fine. They have more control and stability. So just something to be aware of. We've got our two pieces here. So basically we're going to go to the miter saw. We're going to cut 5-inch pieces. So I think we're going to call these slices. Basically what's going to happen is we're just going to kind of shape your little pumpkin. Just kind of do a little round over. Just like that. So I'm going to use either a scroll saw or my little bandsaw to cut these out. Also, if you want to have some light showing through, like for a little candle, you're going to want to cut past this angle. It's kind of something like that. But if you're not going to do it like a candle, don't worry about this part. You're going to use a jigsaw, leave it on, just cut that out, and then you can use your miter saw and you just be a little slower, but you can get it done. Okay, what we're going to do here is just going to just basically cut this shape out. I'll probably cut some of this, and then I'll use this piece as a template, and then we'll mark the other ones and then do all the cutting. So basically here, the further you come out from this angle, the more light will show through. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these. I'm going to take it on the sander, round these edges over. I'm going to leave these clear or natural. I think I'm going to spray paint these orange, but before I glue these together, I'm going to take some orange and I'll brush the insides. So I don't think I'll be able to spray once I get it all together. I don't know if it'll cover that, so I'm just going to throw some orange in here. Okay, we'll let this set up and dry. Okay, let's glue and pin nail these pieces together. So I'm going to stay away from the center. I'll come more towards the ends with the pins because I'm going to put a hole in the center. I'm not sure what size yet. I'm thinking 1/2 to 5/8. So put our stem and then allow our light to go through. I got one of these little tea lights, and we're going to make a base and we'll cut a hole in so just the flame will sit underneath. For the last one, I'll just kind of just force these in and just kind of pin the top. Okay, we'll let this dry. Do our other one. Oh, if I didn't mention it, leave the bottom flat so it sits a little sturdier. It might be easier to put the last two together and then push them in. Okay, we'll let that dry up. So for the base, your final piece here, so we'll just go ahead and rip this down 4.5 inches, and then we'll cut 4 equal ones at 4.5. Okay, rip this down. So we'll save this piece. We'll probably make our stems out of that. And then we'll cut this down to 4.5 inches for those. Okay, we got our 4 pieces. Got this left over. Probably can make the stem out of this too if we wanted to. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to double this up. Okay, I think I'm going to do is I'll do this one square. And we'll do something different with this one. So let's go ahead and glue this together. This one I think I'm going to chamfer all these edges. Go to the sander, or if you got a router, go ahead and do that. Alright, so I chamfered both edges all the way around each one. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll just center this, and then we'll glue and pin nail it. And then after, we'll drill a hole on both of them for our tea light. Okay, this is dry. We're going to go to the bottom. I got a 5/8 Forstner bit. Probably should do this on the drill press. We'll see what we can do. Let's drill this on the bottom. This one will go all the way through. This will let our light go through. Okay, we'll just do a little bit on the top. Just enough to get a stem glued in. A couple little slivers. We'll make our stems. I'll just go to the sander and form it out. Okay, let's do our bases. So this is dry. We'll go 1.5 inch Forstner bit. We'll go down at least 3/4 of an inch. That's how thick this is. And that'll set inside. And that will allow our light just to pop through. So on this one, I'll do a hard chamfer here, and then a slight one on the bottom. First, we'll drill our holes. So I'm going to glue this stem in. The light will fit in here, and that fits on top. We'll clear coat that later. For this base, I think I'm going to paint this green, paint this orange. But before I put this stem in, fill this hole before I spray paint this. We'll put this in and paint the stem after. So we'll spray this. This is called Deep Timber. So I'll spray the bottom. Let that tack up. Let it tack up a second. Okay, I got some gloss pumpkin orange. Spray the bottom here. A couple light coats. Let that tack up. We'll hit that again. Do this green one. Second coat. Put some shellac on this one. Okay, as you can see, there's a lot of variations you can do. There's kind of like a gourd. I made this out of pallet wood. Just a varying height. This is also the 18 degrees. Same with this one, pallet wood. Just made a little base. These actually, same 18 degrees. I made these you can use these as a wall hanger. And you're able to, stuff some kind of flower decoration in these. This was actually my prototype. I started painting it. I was holding it, I dropped it on the concrete, and it kind of bent up. So this is actually 12 degrees. These are actually 15 slices. This is also an 18 degrees, but one picket, just one side cut. Just use that, just shaped it. Use the candle as a stem. Pretty cool. The gourd, same with the candle. So also this is actually one picket. This is actually 12 degrees, 15 slices. And I did a 22.5 degrees, 8 slices. This is also a candle. So as you can see, there's a lot of variations you can do. And just have fun with it. That's what it's all about, right? I'm going to show what these look like lit up. There we go. That looks pretty cool. Put you in the fall spirit. Well, I hope this gives you some good ideas and get out in the shop and create some cool fall decor. Well, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you on the next one. All right, bye, guys.